Hello, good morning. We are so happy to be here to be talking about Martin Library. I'm Mina Edmondson. I'm the director here at Martin Library.
I'm Jill Westen. I'm the member services.
We want to share with you a little bit about what's been going on recently.
So last Friday, we had a great event. It was the 90th birthday bash, and we had it during our first Friday celebration for October. And we were celebrating Martin Library being open for 90 years. They opened on Halloween of 1935. And we had a great party, and we're hoping to share some photos with you. We had some special guests. We had history players, and we had a photo shoot and lots of things. So here we have our founder, Milton Martin. He was in the corner room telling folks about how he came up with the idea for funding this library in York. And then next, we have several other important people from Martin's past. Over on the left, we have Janet Woolsey, who was Martin's first children librarian, and she was here from 1935 to 1969, so she got to see it from its beginning, and then she was there at the 1955 expansion. In the middle, we had Catherine Shorey, Martin's first director, and she was here from 1935 to 1971, and she was in the brownstone to talk about how that was originally separate from the library, and then it got added in 2005. And before that, it was many things. At one point, it was apartments, and she actually lived in the apartments. And then over there on the right, we have our player playing Anne Funk, and then we actually have Anne Funk came to our birthday party, so they got to meet each other. And Anne Funk was a librarian here for decades, and we had her stationed where there were a few changes in the 80s and the 2000s. Then we've got some more pictures here. We had the Cat in the Hat, which was very exciting. In the atrium, talking about the 2005 expansion and all the changes there when they added the brownstone. Then you can see we had a couple more people. We had an elevator attendant to take people down to the brownstone, and then up in teens, we've already seen her this morning. We had Lizzie Baldwin-Seidel of district consultant fame. Oh, whoa, we went fast there. That's okay. Yeah, so in the teens, that's our most recent big expansion highlighting from 2022. Then we also, like I said, we had go ahead. Yeah. Oh, this was one of my favorite parts to get ready. I got some photos from the past. It was a timeline of technology in Martin through the years. And when I found this piece, I thought that was really neat. It's from the 40s and 50s. They actually loaned out a kind of projector that would project books on the ceiling for folks who were immobilized for whatever reason. And I thought that was really neat that the library was already on top of technology from all the way back then. And then also we've got some photo shoot pictures. Yeah, we had a little photo shoot part where they could do a frame of the window. They could be Milton Martin or Turtle Baby. And I think we're almost wrapping up the pictures from that night so we can get over to Mina. Yeah, so you had literary mocktails, so that was really fun. I hope some people made it there and got to try some of those based off of books. Go ahead. And then we also invited people to wear costumes, and we had 2 chickens, which I thought was hilarious, so I thought I would share that. But yeah, it was a great night. I hope a lot of people were able to make it.
Thank you, Jill. It was so much fun to celebrate 90 years since Martin Library opened its doors to the public. Over the decades, Martin Library has undergone many renovations to better serve our community. During our most recent renovation, we replaced one of the original Palladian windows, but we preserved one of the windows. Why? Because we wanted to honor our history in a meaningful way. We invited local artists to imagine the future of Martin Library using that iconic window as our as their canvas, and the response was inspiring. One submission stood out. Brett Griman's piece captured the spirit of our library and the community it serves with vibrant colors and creative symbolism. We were thrilled to offer him the commission. The window was delivered to Brett's studio, where he began by priming the original glass with gesso, allowing the acrylics to stick on the original glass. He began by penciling in the primary features of the art and added grayscale to the background, the shading, and then layer by layer, Brett transformed that window glass, each pane, into a vibrant tapestry of community spirit. Once completed, the artwork was delivered back to the library, and kudos to the staff who were at the top of the ladders installing that piece of art. They hung it with care and kept it covered to build anticipation for the big reveal. Together We Learn, Together We Rise was draped in fabric until, at the appointed moment, gasp and applause filled the library. Together We Learn, Together We Rise now hangs proudly in the Market Street lobby, a tribute to our past and a beacon to our future. Let's explore how libraries have transformed over time. Do you remember when libraries were once quiet sanctuaries for reading and research? Today, they pulse with the energy of community life, with displays. At this program, it was our cultural jam. There were displays and activities going on, and it covered almost all of the 5 literacies: civic and social, information, health literacy, financial literacy. And we also had volunteers from the community that participated. They were there to serve the food from all the different locations and representing the people that live in York. There were adult and volunteers from York College that participated. Families gather at the library and their connections flourish, focusing on those basic literacies that children and families need to get a better start on their education and be ready for school. And libraries have always reached out to our community. And we still do, creating smiles and memories. This is one of my favorite opportunities that we have, placing books in the hands of children. This is from the York City Trunk or Treat, and each child that came past got to choose a new book for themselves. And you can see the excitement in the kids' faces as they were able to choose their own book. And this focuses on basic literacies as well. We unite the community and ensure that everyone has access to the power of a free library card. At the library, you can see the joy in the children's faces as they participate in dance camp. They enjoy the children's spaces and check out books. They read, they share meals, they have fun. And yes, Martin Library does serve breakfast and lunch to our children during the summer. And let's not forget our teens. Our teens find their voice through music, art, and poetry, building their confidence and expressing identity and forging friendships. As Lizzie mentioned, this spring we had a program called Do My Feelings Matter? It was an art exhibit that the teens participated in, And also we had a panel discussion. And during that discussion, the teens read their original poetry, and it was very moving. It was kind of hard to speak after that because of the tears. All of this happens at the library. For 90 years, Martin has not just been the building at the corner of Market and Queen Street. It is actually the cornerstone of growth, transformation, and connection in our community. Join us in shaping the next chapter